Microsoft is ramping its search products with more artificial intelligence, using the same technology behind the widely popular ChatGPT, as tech companies race to take advantage of increasingly powerful AI tools.
I went ahead and signed up first off for the beta for this because they're launching it in an interesting way. Microsoft is using this definitely as a way to get more users on board. They set up the website to where you have to go to Bing, you have to sign up for their wait list, and then it gives you options. Usually people will tell you, tweet this out to your friends or something like that, or invite somebody. What they're asking you to do is to change your default browser to Bing, which I did, and it had to verify that my ancient 25-year-old, 30-year-old, whatever Hotmail account to get this. You had to download the Bing search engine or your phone, and then you had to log into there for it to verify everything and to tie all of this to your Microsoft account. And that was just to get higher up on the wait list. I'm still on the wait list because they're rolling it out to the media and doing this slick marketing campaign that they're hoping is going to siphon off more search users into their ecosystem. It's possible. I did have it on there. We were talking about this where I used it for less than 24 hours. I had Bing as my default and it drove me nuts. I got to the point where I just kept binging Google, doing that to get back into Google so I can get the generalized things that I'm used to, because I have a lot of settings and things like that on Chrome and Google that are just easier. That's why Facebook and Google and Twitter even are not going anywhere anytime soon, because they're very much baked into our habits and into our usage. And Microsoft's trying to use ChatGPT as a way to break this, and it's not the first time. They have Microsoft Designer. It's the other thing that they released at the end of last year. It's supposed to be a Canva competitor, and Canva is a visual template thing that's competing with Adobe as it is. They integrated DALL-E 2 into Designer, had another wait list, and they're going through and testing systematically how to use OpenAI's programs in general to lure people into using Microsoft services, which is something that they have not been able to do successfully on consumer products beyond Windows. They've not been able to do it on phones. They've not been able to do it with, if anyone remembers the Zune, the iPod competitor back in the day that just got badly maligned, the Windows Phone. They've had just a string of bad misses and have not been able to keep up. But on this end, ChatGPT seems to be the thing that is going to carry Microsoft to the end of this year. Now, at this point, ChatGPT is getting integrated into just about anything. Even Opera's browser is now using it.
Edge as well. Sorry, cutting. I was going to say it's Microsoft is using ChatGPT for both their Bing search engine and their Edge operating system. That was also part of it.
And
Yeah,
it wouldn't be
that's
hard
kind
for
of-
them to do it into Cortana either, which is Microsoft's Siri or Alexa, whatever, which people don't really use very much. This is going to be a pretty decent way for them to get a little bit ahead of all of their other competitors that are more established than they are in all of these markets.
The Edge browser would notably be, successor to Internet Explorer, the infinite original browser of the Microsoft operating system. But yeah, they're basically trying to input ChatGPT and AI more broadly into a lot of their products as their secret sauce to give them a competitive edge and get back into markets that they might have lost significant share in. But so basically the headline here is Microsoft is trying to use ChatGPT and OpenAI as the secret sauce for a variety of their mainline products as they make a greater push into markets that they previously were not having much success in.
When you bring up the Edge browser, I actually wrote a satirical guide on how to use the Edge browser. I took screenshots of me opening the Edge browser, searching the word Google Chrome, not one word, two words, and then installing Google Chrome, and then uninstalling the Edge. Well, not uninstalling. It doesn't always let you uninstall. It's baked into the thing, but removing it from everything and closing it out and making Google Chrome the default. I used to use Mozilla Firefox for a while, but it's just there's certain things that you just can't do. The ease of use is what it really boils down to, where consumers really need ease of use. That's how generative AI took over cryptocurrency and Web3 and all that stuff to get all of the headlines recently, is because ease of use of everything. But at the same time, we mentioned it in the last one that Microsoft is still a bigger company than Google. It's a lot bigger. It's a $2 trillion market cap versus Google is at 1.2 trillion. It's nearly twice as big as Google is. And that's a large part of that is because Microsoft still runs the enterprise infrastructure for a lot of things. They have a lot of really deep enterprise contracts. We're using Zoom right now, and Zoom was a darling during the pandemic. pandemic, but Microsoft very easily shut them down, or at least limited their growth potential as soon as they started giving out Microsoft Teams to all of their enterprise customers. They can afford to lose money on things, and that's what they're doing with ChatGPT and with DALL-E. They're losing money on a lot of this stuff running it all, but it's worth it to them to lose money and beat everybody else out so that they can get a lead. So even though ChatGPT may not get a lot of people into the Edge browser and the Bing search engine, it could still add a lot to their, I mean, if they could get double their market share, they'll be at 6% versus 3%. That's going to be a huge thing for Microsoft. But even if that doesn't happen, it doesn't make a difference. They're integrated into just about everything. I saw a list of some guy made 10 top natural language programs or chatbot, generative AI text, synthetic media. They call it all sorts of different things. But he made a list of 10 of them, this large Facebook group dedicated to ChatGPT. Besides, there was Baidu, which is the Chinese version of Google, and they have their own proprietary version they're working on. Alibaba's also working on their own. And then there was Google's Lambda program. Everything else was run by ChatGPT or GPT-3, Jasper, things like that. They've had a huge head start on this market. Been into Canva, Notion. The one thing that ChatGPT is not proprietarily integrated into is Microsoft Word right now. Google has not done anything with Docs either. There is a guy who actually made a third-party app just to fill the gap in between when they do, and it's actually a pretty good app where you can use ChatGPT and generative AI within Word. And that seems like something that would be an obvious thing for Microsoft to do, but they've left that open. And a lot of their other stuff, they have not yet integrated the AI into their suite of products. So I'm not sure how much they really believe in it yet. They could easily put it into Outlook. They could easily build it into any of their entire suite of things, but they have not done any of this yet. They may be a little bit hesitant to do that just because they're trying to work out the kinks and trying to do it a little bit safer, I guess, from that, so that they don't get any kind of legal liability or lawsuits because of it.
It's important to note that Skype is a Microsoft product. So there's this thing where Microsoft would have certainly wanted Skype to have been more successful than Zoom ended up being during, the height of the pandemic, but we all know how that shook out. And so now Teams is essentially Microsoft's attempt at not just buying a leading or competing telecommunications Zoom product, but reverse engineering or internally engineering a Zoom competitor that will be more explicitly designed to do what Zoom does, but for Microsoft in theory. This is Edokwin with Brian Penny for the AI Creator Economy podcast. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell. You're going to get some good content throughout the week, every week.